What's going on YouTube? Your boy David from NBA Knowledge is back with another video, and today we are going to talk about some pre-game NBA rituals. Now for those who do not know, being an NBA player, you must be prepared at all times. And for some players, there are certain things they have to do, whether it's during the day or right before the game, that gets them motivated and pumped up for the game that they're about to have. But for the first player that I want to introduce this for, it's Russell Westbrook. Because for those who do not know, Russell Westbrook has his own little pregame ritual. It's kind of weird, but it's usually that thing that you see Russ run away to the side and he kind of, claps his hands at the end of it. It's pretty weird, but if you see Russ and you kind of know his game, this is just more of like an energizable type of thing. It's kind of common for a guy like Russ to do stuff like that, because the next player on this list that we're going to talk about is Kevin Garnett, and he kind of had a ritual that's pretty similar. He didn't run to the corner or anything, but what he did is he would go to the stanchion and he would hit his head on it. For those who know 2K, you would always see that ritual. I think all the time in like 2K12, 2K13, he would always do that. But yeah, that was his little pregame ritual, and it's pretty understandable for guys like Kevin Garnett and Russell Westbrook, guys who have so much pent up emotion and play with such heart and determination every single time they play on the court, whether it might be misplaced in the case of Russell Westbrook. And Kevin Garnett, we all know, one of the greatest trash talkers of all time, former league MVP, champion, we all know his resume. So in the case of Kevin Garnett and Russell Westbrook, it's not surprising that they have pregame rituals so unique and different, but I think it really fits their personalities, especially KG banging his head on the stanchion. That makes perfect sense knowing who he is. But the next player that we're going to talk about is the one and only His Airness himself, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Because before Jordan laced up his famous sneakers and put on a show every single night at the United Center, the Chicago Bulls star would put chalk in his hands. And that's not abnormal by any means, because what would happen afterwards is absolutely hilarious. Because in his own pregame routine, MJ would shower the Bulls broadcaster John Red Kerr with a whole bunch of powder, and after a while Kerr played along and would bring props such as a gas mask, scarves, umbrellas, and just a whole bunch of stuff to the courtside desk to mess around with Michael Jordan. It was a clear home game routine, and it worked perfectly. As we all know, Michael Jordan 6 for 6 in the finals, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs. Yeah, we all know, no game 7s. We know his resume. It worked out pretty well for him, I would say. So yeah, Michael Jordan's pregame routine, it's not that surprising considering that Jordan's just Jordan. But the next player that we have kind of took from Jordan's pregame routine, and that is obviously LeBron James' chalk toss. Because just like Michael Jordan, the King also had a famous chalk ritual before every single game with the Cavaliers, Miami Heat, and now with the Lakers alongside Anthony Davis. But it became rather an iconic pregame for the NBA's biggest star, because he had scaled back over the years. Nevertheless, King James' pregame chalk toss high into the air is always an incredible sight, and even cooler than his handshakes that he would do before the NBA Finals with his teammates such as Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and J.R. Smith. I think it's a pretty iconic chalk toss, and anyone who's an NBA fan who actually appreciates LeBron James, and even if you hate him, because some people that hate him are just secretly lovers of LeBron, I think we've all done this at least one time. When I was younger, I threw baby powder in the air so many times and I thought I was LeBron. It's a pretty iconic thing, I gotta be honest with you. But moving on to the next player that we have, we got Steph Curry's tunnel shots. Because for those who do not know, Steph Curry's tunnel shots are some pretty iconic pregame rituals, especially for the guys in Golden State, because the fans that see it every single time he does it, I can guarantee you they go crazy all the time. We've seen the clips of it. It's amazing how much of a shooter Steph Curry is, or should I say how great of a shooter he is. He's sensational, amazing from behind the arc, and this tunnel shot, it really is just a summary of how great he is from behind the arc. But moving on to the next player that we have, we got Dwayne Wade's pull-ups at the rim. There are many things that make Dwayne Wade great. He's a 3-time champion, a former finals MVP, and had one of the greatest runs in NBA history in 2006, which has led to him eventually becoming a Hall of Famer in due time. But his pregame ritual is definitely one of the most underrated parts of his greatness. Prior to every single game, no matter what the arena it was, whether he was in Miami, Miami or in New Jersey, Wade hangs on the rim and does 3 pull-ups to match his number 3 jersey for the Miami Heat. And for those who do not know, his number 3 actually represents the Trinity of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit based in Christianity. So I would assume the pull-ups also kind of represent that, because it kind of matches his number. So, I mean, I'm just kind of speculating there. But shout out to D-Wade, because this ritual is definitely an iconic ritual, and I did it a whole bunch of times when I was in high school. But moving on to the next and final player that we have, speaking of rims, we got Vince Carter's net grab, because as one of the greatest dunkers ever, VC actually got ready for every single game below the rim. During his amazing career from the Toronto Raptors and even now retiring with the Atlanta Hawks, Carter would take the ball, hand it back to the official, and then grab the net and do 1 pull-up before every opening tip-off. It never gets old watching Vince Carter do it, from his rookie season all the way up until his last year this past season with the ATL Hawks. And definitely it was a career to watch, and that pull-up is it's pretty iconic. I gotta be honest, all these rituals are iconic, but this one is definitely up there with all of them. But that concludes this video, you guys. If you enjoy content like this, let me know in the comment section down below, and also hit that like button and subscribe so you can join the family NBA Knowledge. This is your boy David signing out. Y'all have a great day. Peace.